This is Jonathan, and you're listening to the Spotlight on the Chronicles, Fables, and Yarns Network, where we do a quick dive into characters, plot devices, and themes of written stories. Today is part 1 of our Dune retrospectives. We'll be looking at the dangers of religion and authority in Frank Herbert's Dune, specifically how it relates to the Bene Gesserit and the Missionaria Protectiva. All governments suffer a recurring problem. Power attracts pathological personalities. It is not that power corrupts, but that it is magnetic to the corruptible. Frank Herbert. The Bene Gesserit are a matriarchal order with superhuman abilities due to their use of melange, spice. They use the cover of serving the Empire in order to further their own goals, subtly guiding humanity along to meet their ends. They have been observed to be able to determine the sex of their child while in embryo, render poisons and diseases harmless within their bodies, while being able to activate them later for other uses. Move with super speed, modulate their voice to control another human, and to prevent aging, among other things. Each Bene Gesserit sister is conditioned from birth to have absolute loyalty to their paramount objective: the breeding of the Kwisatz Haderach, a man who has all their powers and more, who they will then use to rule the universe. This brings us to the Missionaria Protectiva, a program the Bene Gesserit instituted sometime after the Butlerian Jihad, but before the creation of the Orange Catholic Bible, the main goal of which is to seed primitive worlds with what are referred to as infection superstitions. The goal of these superstitions is to make the transition of power for their ultimate being seamless. It is this that allows Lady Jessica and Paul to survive on Arrakis, and it is what allows Paul to rise to power within the Fremen ranks as Muad'Dib, exploiting the legend sown by the Bene Gesserit of the Mahdi, or Lisan al-Gaib, the voice from the outer world. As such, it is also this that thrusts the Jihad upon the known universe. The Fremen's reverence of Paul as the Mahdi, due to his mother's manipulation of the framework put in place by the Bene Gesserit order, makes them believe a mortal to be a god. And that god then becomes the emperor of the known universe. I'll paraphrase the author Frank Herbert in saying that the main point of Dune is that charismatic leaders should come with a warning that says, may be hazardous to your health. Paul, while he had all the powers of the Kwisatz Haderach, was still just a mortal man, not a god. He was unable to make the hard choice, the choice that would avoid slaughtering the billions in his name, the choice that his son Leto II made and paid the price for. While Paul Atreides is the hero of his own story, his is more of a cautionary tale for the rest of us. Leaders are human. They have the same weaknesses we do. They are flesh and blood. During Dune, Paul refers to himself as the Whirlwind. As it turns out, the Whirlwind is where rule of law and religion converge. Stilgar laments on the path Paul set the Fremen on in Children of Dune. It was the religion of Muad'Dib which upset Stilgar most. Why did they make a god of Muad'Dib? Why deify a man known to be flesh? Muad'Dib's golden elixir of life had created a bureaucratic monster which sat astride human affairs. Government and religion united, and breaking a law became sin. A smell of blasphemy arose, like smoke, around any questioning of governmental edicts. The guilt of rebellion invoked hellfire and self-righteous judgments. And there it is, the plan of the Bene Gesserit to control the universe. The dangerous game they played turned against them. Paul awakened his prescience with spice in the desert, outside of the control of the Sisterhood, and used their own plans against them, to the detriment of all. This has been the Spotlight on the Chronicles, Fables, and Yarns Network. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jonathan, signing out.